Hey everyone, let's have a look at the Winter Sports Park by Lego City. This is set number 60366. Contains 1,045 bricks, retails for $119.99, and this set was provided to me by the Lego Group for early review. And just by looking at the front of the box, this looks fun. So we got ourselves a ski slope, and looks like this might be part of a lodge of some sort. Got our rock climbing wall, and well, we have a motorcycle, and it's beyond me. And that's all the minifigures you get in there too. So you do get a good variety of everything in here, and this is one of those modular things that you can break apart and reconfigure. So yeah, I don't know about the inside of that, but I haven't built it yet. And looks like we got all sorts of stuff to do in here. Well, let's take a look. Here we are at the Winter Sports Park, and there's a lot of stuff to see here. And we're just going to do a quick 360 spin, and we'll take a closer look. But you do have 8 minifigures. Here's the whole ski slope setup. So I have a feeling we're going to be running figures across here. We got this gentleman here on a snowboard, and he's got himself a credit card on a phone. So I don't know if he's trying to place an order while he's going down here. He was already at the bottom, but here we got this gentleman up here. And this is rather a bumpy ride, but we're going to try it anyway. So here we go. I'm just going to show you. And they fall on the ground. And I'll get that later. And we'll try the snowmobile guy as well. So he can go in here and try to place an order with his credit card. As you can see, they fly off this. It should have been something to kind of keep them from shooting off the end here. Because now I got to go find that guy who fell underneath the table. So I have a feeling this is going to be heavily played with. We got various entries into here. We'll take a look at the interior here in a second, as well as the close-up. And we got a little balcony up here. Looks like he's probably looking through the binoculars or looking at the squirrel. And we got this down here. I can't even pick her up. She's playing ice hockey, and we got a small little portion of an ice hockey rink. So there is some, she can come in here and do that and stuff like that. There's no goals in here, so you can possibly do that. Then we got the little rock climbing wall right here off to the right, and basically he's just hanging off that, so you can just have him go up or down and just use the rope here, the safety rope, and you can go all the way down to the ground, or you can have him go up to the top here, and it's pretty cool. And that's essentially what it is with the front. Okay, so now we're going to spin around here. Now all the interior settings you have access to. So, looks like right here we possibly have a medical center. We got a supply shop, maybe for our supplies. Maybe a little snack room area. And then here's a way to get to each floor, and this actually does have a working elevator. This one here is way at the top, but I could turn this little tire on the top here that you could barely see. And as you can see, the elevator does drop down. And my apologies about the light. That's how crude my reviews are. But don't worry, like I said, we'll take a closer look. And yes, I'm still finding the stuff for that light. And it goes right down to the bottom. And they kind of used this little twisty little rebar piece for that. And it works. And I have a feeling this is going to be used a lot for a lot of builds. And this does have a nice, good, smooth action. So you're not going to go wrong with this. This actually does work. So you can have minifigures. Let's try this gentleman here. He's got his snowshoes on. And I'm just going to raise this up because it'd be easier to show you. You can have him go on here, and then you can just turn the knob, and he can get off and can go in here. And even with my big hands, I can still have access to everything. And he can go in here and get himself a candy bar. Okay. And yeah, The only thing this thing doesn't have is safety gates, so if somebody comes up here and just wasn't paying attention, they can fall down to the first floor. You know? But for the most part, it is a very functional model. Well, let's take a closer look. He just rescued the skier from the void. He's got a nice torso. Well, she. It's hard to tell because they got the glasses on and stuff. And we have some accessories, so we do get 2 extra wigs, a helmet, and some ice skates. We also have one of these little tubes that you can slide down the ski ramp, and that does work fairly well. Now, the one thing I don't understand is we got this guy or gal on a motorbike. I like the torso, but I don't know anybody who rides a motorbike in the snow. It doesn't stay up very well. Here's the snowboarder. But I'm really pleased with all the print work for the torsos. Here we got the ice hockey child. She's having fun. Got a little snowman there and another gentleman. And this one here. We also got a squirrel and stuff like that. And plenty of things here. Honestly, this looks like a fun place to visit if it was just in person, in real life. So here's that little rock climbing wall, and this looks fun. I mean, I wouldn't go on that, but... So there he is right there, and there's the tire. Control the elevator. We'll take a look at that in a bit. But... pretty cool. And... that's pretty much all the exterior, and let me see if he's got a custom torso. I think he does. Yeah. The torsos are all winter themed. Now, let's take a look here at the elevator, and yes, it's pretty dark. Like I said, I don't have the facilities right now in front of the light. And there's the elevator. So you just turn this little tire up here. And then I can raise or lower this elevator down, so the going clockwise drops it, and no, counterclockwise drops it, and then clockwise raises it up. And you can see that little twisty piece up there. And that's as high as it goes, so it stops right there. It stops right on a dime right there. Smooth transition, even got the controls back there and stuff. And then here's the other portions here. So there's that snack bar with a small little table. I think that's what it is. And you got the little coffee machine. And here's this gentleman right here. I like the print work for his torso. Got a candy bar and a thing of milk. And then down here is the supply room. And one of these right here carries the snowboards and the skis. You do get an extra one of those. There's a lot of stuff going on with this set here. And there's the medical clinic, complete with ATM credit cards, so they're ready for business. That's the best place to do one of those. And just to show you here, you do have access to all the rooms in here. Everything's accessible via the elevator. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be playing with the elevator. And I know I still like playing around with it because it's cool. It's controlled really smooth. And so I thought maybe this was going to be some kind of a lodge, but I think this is meant just as a year-round snow park, which would be nice. It'd be kind of cool if they had something like this in my area, but they don't. But overall, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. We'll save that for the review. But I am really pleased with this set. Now for the review and opinions on the Winter Sports Park. Let's start with play value, and yes, this is a fully playable model. As you saw in the demonstration, there's plenty of things to do. You got this long simulated ski slope, you got the little working elevator inside, as well as all the other shops, and plenty of accessories. So there's plenty of stuff to do here. You really won't be bored with this, and including the mountain climbing wall. So it's got every essential piece you need possibly to make terrain around this and make it into a full-fledged ski slope. And like I'd mentioned though, you have access to all the rooms inside, so you are not going to get shortchanged on this model at all. And I'm very pleased with the play value on this. For build experience, it was another pleasant build. I wasn't bored with it. This is a set that I really wanted to finish up to see the outcome, so I really wanted to work on this. Not disappointed. Now, the build quality, I'm going to have to say for my final thoughts on it, it's average. Now, each modular piece is built very well, really good, but you cannot pick this thing up. And I'll show you. So if you were to pick this up, you could see where this is starting to get flimsy here, and if you pick it up right here, this is not really meant to be picked up. So if you're going to get yourself something to put this on, it's like a turntable, so you can easily swivel this around and play with it, or you can even pick it up. But it's not really meant to be moved from site to site. Now for city drop-in value, it's not really finished off for the city. This part looks pretty good, so this would look good in maybe some kind of maybe park setting. But back here, and I mean, it looks like we got a corner. It looks like it fits in a corner somehow. So maybe if you come in and put some terrain in here or just finish off the side, this would look pretty good. So I don't know, it just needs a little bit of work, which leads to mock value. And honestly, this set has a lot of potential for mocks. You got the ski jump here, so you could probably find a place for this. And since we have a little portion of an ice hockey rink, there you go, you can do that too. You got this little inner tube here, slide down the hill, and you could do something with that as well. And the one thing I think a lot of possibly mock builders are going to integrate is this elevator here. All right, so this set does have a lot of potential for mocks. And of course you can improve it and stuff like that. So for my final summation on the review, I'd give this set probably an 8.7. Now the reason being is I had to fight with these stickers a bit on the windows. As you notice, none of them are really even. And some of the pieces were scratched. I mean, some of these glass pieces were just, I don't know. But I was heavily grading on the play value on this set. So that's probably the only thing that saved it. Honestly, if the pieces came in pristine condition, it would have been an easy 9.7, close to a 10. And the 0.7 is, you know, you can't really pick this up and move it. You know, go figure. There's a lot of little things, but I think honestly it's a very fair score for this. Now the retail price is $119.99 for 1,045 bricks. Now it does seem a bit expensive at first, but honestly, since I put this together, you're getting a lot of medium to large size bricks. There was some small pieces, but mostly large stuff. So you're not going to go wrong with this set at all in terms of parts. And there's a lot of unique pieces and you can use to build other things. But I'm talking bricks. I'm talking 2x4 bricks, 1x12s, 1x16s. I mean, all this here is just bricks. Look at the bricks in there. It's pretty cool. And all around, it's just a nice set. It's fully playable and stuff like that. So I think honestly it's a very fair price for the set. But I want to hear what you have to think about the set. Do you think the play value for the set is pretty good, especially for $119.99? Let me know in the comments below.